well, let's get to it right now. The NFC West.
Yep.
Let's start with Arizona because they won the division. They won a very tight game that I don't want to remember, but then they just got crushed by the Panthers. Is it Carson Palmer that's the problem? I mean, I'm not saying there's a problem, but they did not make it to the Super Bowl. So,
Right.
is it Carson Palmer?
I don't think it's Carson Palmer. I think what it is the Carolina Panthers were just a better team.
Okay.
I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. I think Arizona has the pieces to get to a Super Bowl. Pieces to win it.
Okay.
I think this year, I'm going to say this year they are more equipped to win the Super Bowl than they were last year, only because of the fact that I believe even though he broke out last year, the breakout star this year that everybody is going to be talking about going into next year is David Johnson.
Yes.
He is an absolute
Love
stud.
David Johnson.
He is their workhorse for the foreseeable future. He didn't get the entirety of last year because Chris Johnson did start out the season and then he took off as Chris Johnson went out with injury. But he is an absolute stud, and I think that the Cardinals do have the pieces to go to a Super Bowl. I don't think that, like I said, I don't think it's Carson Palmer. I think it's just the fact that the Carolina Panthers are a better team.
Man, you can't forget about Chandler Jones.
Yeah,
they got him in trade.
Huge pickup.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him, rush the passer with Calais Campbell. Hopefully, I'm guessing they're gonna play on the same side. That's gonna be interesting.
Wait, did you just say the same side?
Yeah,
Are they they're in a 4-3 now, right?
I think they're still in a 3-4.
Then they would be on opposite ends. Because Chandler Jones.
No. Chandler
Patriots?
Jones was an outside linebacker.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think he's a defensive end.
I'll check their depth chart, but I'm pretty sure when I did my preview article, he was on. But he wouldn't be a defensive end in a 3-4.
He was for the Patriots, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't. Let's see. Nope, he's listed as an outside linebacker.
Okay.
All right. But yeah, I think their defense is stacked. Hopefully, Tyrann Mathieu's going to come back 100%. Because he's getting paid like it right now. I think we talked about that in our last episode, actually. So watch that if you want to catch up. Patrick Peterson, I think he is the best cornerback in the NFL. And he probably won't win Defensive Player of the Year because teams just don't throw to him anymore. That just,
right.
So he's not going to get those stats. A guy I'm really high on, actually, is J.J. Nelson. Now, he's a wide receiver. That doesn't mean I don't like Michael Floyd. That doesn't mean I don't like John Brown. But I really like J.J. Nelson. I think he's going to lead the team in receiving touchdowns.
Okay.
That's my bold prediction.
All right. With Nelson, he's the little fast guy, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think he's got a shot to lead them in yards per catch, as a slot guy. But at the end of the day, to me, this team goes through Larry Fitzgerald. I think it's his team. Regardless, he can still play at an elite level as we saw last year. And I think until he decides that he's going to hang it up, I think he's going to come out as their number one receiver. And that's not a bad thing by any means. That just speaks to the level of play that he's been able to do for the last, 13 years, I think now he's been in the NFL. I mean, he's just that type of a player.
All right. Let's see. I have them finishing with a grand total of, drumroll please, 13. 13 regular season wins.
All right, so the same record as last year.
Yes. Yep.
All right, I'm good with that. Yeah, I think they will. I don't know where you have them. I mean, unless you somehow have the Seahawks going 14-2, I think they would be your division winner, and
Yes.
I as well
All
would
right.
have them winning the division.
Let's talk about the Seahawks. They just lost. They're beast mode. Marshawn Lynch, he's retired now. So Thomas Rawls, as long as he's quotations, I think he's retired. I think he's done for good.
Didn't he just sign with a team in Australia?
No way. There's no way he did. But anyways, while you look that up, Thomas Rawls is probably going to be their starter as long as he's healthy. Maybe Christian Michael will get a 1-2 punch there. But as usual, this team will always come down to their defense and Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson is a fantastic quarterback. He has been ever since entering the league. And as for their defense, who just cut Brandon Browner, actually, couldn't even make the 75 team. But the Seattle Seahawks are completely dominant, mostly because of their defensive backs, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, and Cam Chancellor. They're so good. What do you think about the Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah, I mean, you hit everything right on the head. I think one of the most underrated players in the league, Doug Baldwin.
Oh, God.
I don't think he gets enough credit for making plays when called upon. I mean, he's not going to be an elite, top-tier number one receiver. He's not Antonio Brown. He's not Julio Jones. He's not, the recently retired Calvin Johnson, anything like that. But when asked to make a play, I mean, Doug Baldwin makes plays. I think he's undervalued in that way, and I think a lot of people looked at the contract that he signed and said, wow, that's a lot of money for a guy who only puts up those numbers. But I think his value, I think what he does in terms of his value equals the money that they gave him more so than the statistics because of the offense that they run. No fault to him.
And they still have Jimmy Graham. Let's not forget about that.
Is he going to play?
We'll see. We'll see.
We're still waiting for that answer.
We'll see. But I like Jimmy Graham. I also like Tyler Lockett, who I think is their best receiver on the team. I don't think we need to say much about the Seattle Seahawks, actually, because we know what they bring to the field. They're a very good football team. They have been for a long time. And I think you got to give a lot of credit to Pete Carroll and GM John Schneider for, keeping their core players, giving them all these deals. And, and they actually want to stay in Seattle, which is fantastic.
Well, not only that, but when they do lose a key player, like they let Browner go, a couple of years ago, and they let Maxwell go, who was the guy who kind of stepped in for Browner. When they lose key pieces like that, they are very, very good at finding new ones.
Well, and even before Maxwell, it was Walter Thurmond.
Right.
And they replaced him with Maxwell.
Yeah. So, I mean,
you're absolutely right.
They're good at filling space or filling holes where they need.
And it really all starts with the draft and getting guys in the middle of the rounds, getting guys like Richard Sherman and Cam Chancellor and Russell Wilson, and those are your three best players on the team, maybe. So I have them winning 11 games. And they're definitely my 5 seed.
I wild card second division as well.
All right. Let's start with the LA Rams. We're gonna tackle San Francisco later. Let's go with the LA Rams.
Yep.
The Hard Knocks team. I don't know if you've been watching Hard Knocks.
Nope.
You really don't need to. It's not that special. So Jared Goff, the number 1 overall pick, probably will not be starting the season. I think that's going to be Case Keenum, who will be playing season 1. That's my guess. I don't think it's set in stone or anything. But everybody's going to be talking about Todd Gurley, Rookie of the Year. I think he's gonna have an even better year. I don't think there will be no sophomore slump for this guy. Um, what else can you say about this team?
Um, they're going to fade away into the lights. I mean, at the end of the year, I think there's a lot of buzz right now for them because of moving to Los Angeles. But this is not. I mean, they needed a restart. I mean, just as much as any other bad team has. Aaron Donald is an absolute stud.
Yes,
Robert Quinn is an absolute stud. Alec Ogletree is a very good outside linebacker.
Player.
He just needs to stay
He's
healthy.
being coached up by Mike Singletary now. So
I mean, they have some very. They have 3 guys on defense who are absolutely legit. As you mentioned, Todd Gurley is a stud. I think Jared Goff could potentially become a very good quarterback down the line. They still need help at wide receiver. But I think the lights are going to be a little too bright this year in Los Angeles. Okay. They're not going to make the playoffs.
No.
Could they maybe compete? Yeah. But I mean, they still have a ways to go.
Jeff Fisher, I watch Hard Knocks. In the first episode of Hard Knocks, he had a team meeting, and he said, I'm tired of being, Mr. 7-9. This team's always going 7-9, 8-8. I'm done with that. We're not a 7-9 team. I have them going 7-9.
So since he doesn't want to be Mr. 7-9, I'll give him 6-10.
Oh,
boy. How does that make you
feel? So we both have them, losing records, not making the playoffs.
Yep.
Do they move on from Jeff Fisher then?
I think so. I think next year they move on from the GM and the head coach. They'll bring in new guys. They're going to a new city. They're going to have a new stadium soon. New quarterback, new running back. I think they're going to build the defense around the 3 guys that I mentioned, the 3 young studs. But everything is going to be brand new for the Los Angeles Rams, I think, after this season.
Who do you think they hire then? On top of your head? Do they go? Maybe they try and go big. Maybe get a guy like Bob Stoops out of the.
I'm gonna say Shula.
Shula, wow.
Worked wonders with Cam Newton.
That's a dark horse candidate.
And I think he can really work well with Jared Goff.
I don't mind that. I think they're gonna go with somebody different.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm interested to see though. It'll be a rookie NFL head coach. I will say that.
Oh yeah, I agree.
San Francisco 49ers.
Yep.
Chip Kelly.
Yep.
New head coach.
Yep.
Carlos Hyde.
They've only been in the news every day for the last 4 days.
Okay, no. I'm gonna ask you this question.
Yep.
Say, can you see them going 5-11 or worse?
It's gonna be around there.
It's gonna be around there.
I will say that.
Okay.
Here's my thing with the 49ers, and I have gotten a lot of flack for my opinion on this, but I think possibly if you give him a 3-year window, the 49ers will be a winning team under Chip Kelly.
Oh boy. Okay.
I think Chip Kelly is a very good football coach, and I think he can turn this team around, but he needs the right pieces in place, and now that he is not controlling the personnel and just coaching, I think he can win ball games. I think he's a really good coach, and he just needs to focus on coaching. And if he just focuses on coaching, I think the 49ers have the guy in place who can turn this offense around and start rebuilding them back. Maybe not to John Harbaugh, but I think that to get them in contention.
I'm going to take a page out of Colin Kaepernick's book here. I'm going to sit this one out because I don't like what I'm hearing here. No, they have a lot of trouble here. And I just lost my train of thought because I tried coming up with that funny line that I thought you'd laugh at, but you didn't. No, they need a new quarterback, and it's not because of the Colin Kaepernick situation. Blaine
They
Gabbert's
needed
not
a new one last year.
exactly. No, exactly. Blaine Gabbert's not the answer. And they need a lot of. They need they're lacking core pieces. I think is the best thing I can say. That really the only core piece I think is worth keeping right now is Navarro Bowman. I have them winning a grand total of 2 games, and yeah, they could very well be making the first overall pick of the draft, and that could be Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. I don't know if this is a bold statement or not. I will say 49ers will be a top 15 team offensively in the NFL. They will have one of the top 15 offenses in the NFL.
Okay, that's bold.
And my bold statement is they will be, if not, they will be borderline one of the top 10 offenses in the NFL this season.
Wow. So how many wins do you have them having or getting?
They're not gonna win a lot of games.
That's pretty good.
You got to score points. You got to score points, and you got to be able to stop people. But I think when you just look at their total yards that they get on offense, I think they will be, in terms of yards per game, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As an overall offense, they will be a borderline top 10 offense in the NFL.
Okay.
And I think they will be a top 15 rushing.
Very good.
Bold statement.
I love bold statements. They're what get me up at night or in the morning. In the morning. Okay, so we both have Arizona winning. We both have Seattle number 2.
Yep.
Who do you have finishing third?
See, Los Angeles. I almost said St. Louis.
Okay.
Los Angeles.
Yeah. So we have the same. We have LA third and San Francisco fourth.